Welcome everyone to another episode of the LFMS Marketing Symposium. And I am so excited. I have the lovely Nadia Feiner here from the UK. Say hi, Nadia.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, I am so excited to have you, and I love your accent, by the way, even though you probably think I have one. I love when you speak. It's so fun. You look beautiful, and we're just so excited to have you. And we do things a little differently here in the LFMS Marketing Symposium. Before I'll introduce you, so let me just share with the audience what you're going to be talking about. She's going to be talking about pumping up your profits and how to really have a consistent, and this is really key for a lot of women entrepreneurs, a consistent, 5K and above month after month after month, because for a lot of people it's feast and famine, and we really want you to be consistent in your cash flow that you have coming into your business every month. So Nadia and I are going to be talking about that today. But I don't typically read bios. I started off reading a few bios when I did these interviews, and what I've changed my mind, and I really want you to share your story. I think it's so much more impactful. Just for us to tell us, how did you get into this spot? How did you start your business? And, where are you at today?
Okay, well, I've been working in consulting and marketing and stuff for a long time. So, years and years and years. And I started out in a really strange way. I actually quit my job around 10 years ago to go and write a book. So I did it kind of the other way around. A lot of people run a business and then they write a book. I did my book first. And from there, I started my first business. So I actually started a network, a face-to-face network for female entrepreneurs off the back of my book. Because while I was writing it, I was like so kind of on my own. I just thought I'd really like to meet some cool people, connect. And that was my first sort of foray into entrepreneurship, really. And then from there, I started another business, and that was in PR. Helping female entrepreneurs get into the press. And I've had an interesting journey, really. So I've worked kind of as a consultant for massive companies, and then I transitioned more into becoming a business coach because the PR business ended in a very not in a great way. I had a big falling out with my business partner, which was not that much fun. And it took me a while to recover because she was kind of mean. And so I took a while to recover from that and decided to focus on the consulting and the coaching side of things. And that was when I first became a business coach, so a good few years ago now. And I guess I'm a little bit different because all through my journey, I've always had to battle with confidence issues, the inner gremlins, the self-doubt, all that stuff. So I kind of, in the end, what I did was I decided to embrace it rather than pretend that I didn't have it. If you know.
I like that. And that's what's awesome about you, Nadia, is you're so transparent about what it took you to get there. I mean, I love the fact that you were okay to share about your business partner. I love the fact that you're okay to share those inner gremlins, as you call them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because I think the thing is I'm a really bad liar. So if I was to try and pretend to be something else, you'd all think that something was a bit off or weird. So and also I think I attract people who get it, who feel these feelings too. So by owning the kind of the littleness and the fact that I often sort of struggle with the feelings of not being good enough, or the urge to compare myself to others, or not being able to push myself, the fact that I'm honest about it and I push through and do it anyway, I think inspires people. And eventually I kind of decided to just really own the fact and I actually incorporated it into my brand. So really kind of around this little voice, big business, I really decided to just own it rather than kind of feel awkward around it, because obviously I don't sound like everybody else. And I think in the past I always tried to be oh, hello, trying to be somebody else, and it doesn't really work for me. So now I'm just me, and it's just a lot easier, and people kind of relate. So it's better. And I think actually that's even one of the things I recommend is around personality and just owning what makes you unique and special, rather than, I think a lot, well, you probably see this too, but there's a lot of people who are sort of pretending to be like other people. And we see, on social media, we're always seeing people who, maybe we think, oh, they look better than us, they're more shiny, they look, like more successful, and trying to be like that. And I think if you can own what makes you you, it really ramps up your business actually, because people feel a true connection to you.
Right. Right. So, I love that. You're very, very transparent, and you are who you are. And that is very attractive. And that's one of the reasons that I reached out to you and had my team reach out to see if you would be willing to speak um, on behalf of so many women out there. And I call them the LFMS because it feels beautiful, and we're gorgeous, and we're with all different shapes and sizes. And we need to embrace that, right? Like, we need to embrace, I am who I am, right? I am Angela. You are Nadia. Like, we are who we are. We all have our strengths. We all have our weaknesses. We all have all these amazing stories to share. So how can being your really true to your authentic self help you on your path to getting into consistent flow with consistent 5K months? Can you share how a person would get there and how they can stay there?
Well, I think essentially it comes down to sharing your story, because often we find that the people who are attracted to us want to be like us. So they kind of want to be where you are now. So if I talk about myself and my journey and the stuff I've overcome, I'm going to attract people who want to have achieved that too. So it kind of helps you to attract the right people. And it also helps you to get people to trust you and believe in you. So although it's not literally like a financial strategy, it doesn't actually kind of make money on the spot. It helps you to attract your ideal client. It helps to build trust. And it helps you to stand out from other people. So in that sense, it's almost like the backbone of your marketing, I think, because it totally differentiates you from everybody else. And so what I would actually recommend people do is that they look at their story, they look at how they operate, their vibe. Are they like, quite sort of like fairy dust, or are they sort of quite rock and roll or punk? What's their sort of their method or their kind of attitude to life almost, and look at how you can kind of incorporate that into your brand. And when you share your story, it's incredibly powerful, because you're showing people how you went from A to B to C. And on the whole, people that you work with will want to go from A to B. So they're not necessarily trying to get to exactly where you are yet. But if you can take them from A to B like you went, and that was your journey, then they'll trust you that you're the person to help them to do that. So it just helps you attract, people who are going to be your super fans. And it's just so much easier because you get to be yourself. So instead of every time you open your mouth and write something, or make a video or do anything like that, you're like, oh God, what am I going to say? And how am I going to be? You don't even need to think about it because you're just you.
That's very true. So if someone was brand new starting out online and they had a story to tell, I mean, where would you tell them to start? Because when you say your story, what does that mean? Are you talking about your business story? Are you talking about your life story? Are you talking about everything in it, the kitchen sink? Like, what does that mean?
I think it's a version of your story. And so I tend to work with people to help them kind of draw out the aspect of their story that they should be sharing. So I obviously have I've lived for like 38 years. And so there's been a lot of stuff that's happened to me. Probably most of it's not really relevant. There's bits that you don't need to know about how I broke my foot playing soccer. Like, that's not relevant. That's not very exciting. It hurt, but you know, or like there's bits of my not my personality, there's bits of my life that doesn't tie in, or my career maybe, my education. Like you don't necessarily need all of it, but I think it helps to start by writing the whole thing down, and then we can look at pulling out the bits that seem relevant and the bits that kind of make for a compelling story, you know. So like in my book, that I'm writing a new book, by the way, and at the beginning I start with the story of the fallout with my business partner, because it's relevant. You know, she said some things about being small, playing small, not, you know, being afraid and all that. So it's drama, but it's also relevant to how I now work in business, because it kind of spurred me on, you know. So I think a good place to start is just like a big brain dump. And then it's about looking for kind of milestones in the story and themes. And sometimes if you don't really know who you are, you can write your story, and that helps you to kind of work it out, that actually you've always believed in this particular thing, or there was a particular experience that informed everything and the way you now work, you know?
I really like that. So you tell people, first of all, write out your story, figure out what the milestones are. So with your clients, you know, you help them figure out their story, what's relevant, what will really like be different. You know, obviously it's authentic, but it's different about them, and how it will help people relate. And then, you know, I would imagine tie into the transformation that they're offering their clients or their potential clients, right? So then how does that story, how do you get that story out? Like, how do they get that story out to the world, and how does that translate to dollars, and particularly consistent 5K months?
So I think what I would use it for is the why, like why you do what you do. And then I'd create like videos, use it on podcasts, share it in interviews, put it in your book if you're going to write a book. You know, it can be on your about page. Like it's kind of everywhere really. And people,
Gotcha.
it's like, it's just like the foundations, I guess. So it doesn't, you don't tell your story and go, oh look, I made 5K. But you might tell your story, someone will hear it, go, oh my God, that really inspired me and I want to do that too. I'd love to work with her. So it can actually result in clients off the bat, because they're drawn to you. And, you know, I find, like, you know, when you read a magazine, like I always read the stories, the real life.
I do.
Yeah, you do, and you don't even realize that you're okay. I do like in Grazia, that's my favorite. It's in England. I don't know if you have it, but it's like a fashion magazine, but it has a, you know, a bit of real life and a bit of politics and stuff. So I sort of skim the kind of shopping page at the beginning, obviously, because I want to just check. And then I go straight to the stories, you know, because I think the stories are the thing that you remember stories, you tell stories to your friends, stories are very powerful. So I just think it's a really great way to uncover your personality, the personality of your business, if you're not really sure what it is. But it's just one element. You know, when I'm helping people to make more money, that's kind of the softest element, if you like, of my little process that I have. Because the first thing I would do though is look at promise, like the outcome that you're delivering for your clients.
Right.
And this is really important. And I see people forget this all the time. Like they tend to sell what they're doing, and they sell the time, or they sell the what, rather than the impact it's going to have. So let's say you're selling a jar of face cream, right?
I need some of that.
Yeah. And there's funny light in here. Look, if I go like that, I'm in the light, out the light.
Yeah.
If I'm selling a jar of face cream, so it's what is it? It's a pot. Hang on, I even have some cream here. Hang on. I'll hold this up as an example. And it's funny. It's Cowshed, and it's called Cowpat. Cowpat moisturizing hand cream, right? So if I'm selling this, I'm not just selling the pot, the tubey jar thing, and the pump, and the label, and the box. What you're selling is the result. You're selling smoother, younger looking, gorgeous,
I
gorgeously,
remember that.
yeah,
Yeah.
gorgeously fragranced hands. You're selling like a luxury experience it's gonna help people. You know, and this even says that it kind of like it restores softness and uplifts and refreshes and yada yada yada, all that nonsense. And the thing is, it's the same in your business. When you're selling what you do, you're selling the result that you're going to help people achieve. And I think often we get stuck on focusing on what we're doing, like, oh, 12 sessions on Skype, and or like, you know, a workbook and some videos. Like, it's not the what, it's the promise that you're selling, the thing that you're going to change about their life.
Exactly. No, but no, I mean, some people care. I shouldn't say nobody, but most people, they just want, it's like you're selling the destination, not the plane ride, right?
Yeah, the
Like I
destination.
want to go to an exotic location and I want to make money in my business. I don't care about how many audios or how many this or that. Now, some people though, they want to know, they may want to, there's some personalities that like to know that stuff, but for the most part, people just want to know what can
You
you,
can put it in there, like you can have it listed, like what you get
right,
when you sign up. I always tell people what they're going to get, but the thing that sells it is the result. So the 5K months, the consistent 5K months, and then also like, what does that mean for them? So being able to earn 5K every month, that might mean that they can spend more time with their kids or go traveling, or it might mean that they get to sell their house and go and live on a beach and work out of a van. I
oh,
mean,
that
who knows?
sounds nice.
That sounds nice. Although I'm not sure about the showering situation, like in
How
a
about
van.
How about if you have consistent 5K months, you can go live on a sailboat and like, with the like little pool or not the pool, but what is that called? Like in a marina, you have your sailboat and then they have the little club, the little yacht club. They have
Oh yeah,
showers.
that would be good. I'd be all right with that. I'd need to know that I could have a shower, but see how you paint a picture of the,
Right.
the,
Right.
because it's really hard to get people to pay for something unless they really, really want it. And I think often we get kind of consumed with this idea of need, and actually, like, people can need something. So I could create something and be like, yeah, I've made this special coaching program for people whose let's think of a funny one. Who's for people who have one cat but they want two cats, because I think they need my help, right?
Right. Well, I know a cat lady that would love that, but she probably would want a program that teaches her how to go from 2 cats to 5 cats, right? She loves
So
animals.
maybe like they might need the help, but if you said it's $5,000 and I'm going to teach you how to up level your cat situation from to 20 cats, they might not want it. Like, it might be something that I think they need, but they don't want.
But yeah, 20 cats might be a little too much, but yeah, it's a funny example, but you get it. It's really what people want, not what they need, right? That's at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I think, one of the things that I think that is super important when you're selling and you're really helping your clients get to that 5K level and they need to have consistent months is that they also have to perform. Their clients need to get the results, right? Obviously, your clients own their own results, but you need to be able to like do what you say you're going to do. Otherwise, you won't have those consistent 5K months. Would you agree?
You have to be good at what you do, and I kind of assume that the people I work with are good, because like, if you're terrible, if you're like the world's worst fitness instructor, honestly, I can't really help you. Like, I could design your business to get you some clients and to get you money, but they aren't going to come back. Like,
Right. At the end of the day, exactly. You have to do what you. So if someone wanted to, get from here, they're starting here and have consistent 5K months. What are the 3 steps that you would say that they need to do? Just the high level steps they need to do to get there.
Okay, so my steps are, I don't have 3, I have 5. So please.
Okay, share your 5 steps. That would be
Okay,
awesome.
my 5 steps. First of all, focus on the promise. What are you actually going to be doing for them? How are you changing life? Infuse it, number 2, with your personality. Number 3, package up your services, because otherwise you allow people to treat you like a drop-in center and they just pop in and pop out again, and you can't create consistent 5k months because there's no consistency. It's just all random people kind of coming and going. So you package things up. Then you have to sort out your pricing, and this is an area I could talk all day about pricing, because we tend to go in either too low, because we don't quite believe in ourselves. That's my shtick, I suppose, is to go in too low. So I have to really sort of work hard to make sure that I'm priced appropriately, because my price is not about me, it's about the value I'm delivering. So we can discuss that in a minute if you like. And then finally, you need to have a sales pipeline. And I think that often, in 99% of cases, people don't have a sales pipeline. They maybe create some content and then sit back and hope that it's just magically going to drive people to them.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. So really, like a marketing plan is basically what they need in order to push their information out there.
Marketing plan, but also like an emphasis on the money-making activities. Like for me, sales conversations. Like if I do discovery calls, I get clients.
Right.
So
right.
if I want more clients, I have to do more discovery calls.
Right. Absolutely. I hear what you're saying. So that makes total sense. All right. So if there was one thing that you feel like women could take away today that they could really put into their business right now, like just as soon as they got done watching this amazing interview with you, what could they start today to get going on having consistent 5K months?
The first thing they could do, like right now, is put their prices up.
Okay.
Because often we're going in so low, and then we get kind of obsessed with over delivering because we want people to like us. So then it just creates this whole big mess where we're working our butts off for no money at all. And the easiest thing you can do to make more money in your business is to charge more. And something to bear in mind is that you're selling this outcome, so it's how much is that outcome worth to people. It's not the what you're doing, it's this result that you're delivering for them. And I've experimented with all kinds of pricing, so I've tested this stuff myself. Now, if you want your clients to get good results, they have to have skin in the game.
Right.
If your clients feel like it's this massive bargain to work with you, then they're just not going to bother. They don't put the work in. So not only are you not making any money, but your clients are not going to get the results that you deserve, that they deserve, because actually they don't feel invested.
So you're saying that if your prices aren't where they should be, people won't be as invested. It's like when you give someone something for free, they don't value it as much, right?
Yep, when they get something at a lower price, they don't value it. They don't necessarily do the work. You're not their top priority. And you want your clients to get good results, not just for your business to be successful and get testimonials, but also because you want your clients to be, to achieve their goals and change their lives. So you have to look at your price. And another quick thing to say about pricing is that it's not about how you feel about yourself. And that's True. A weird thing, because I think we get so caught up in how much we feel we're worth, or, I don't feel confident, or I feel like I'm less experienced than others. And it's not about you, it's about your clients, and it's about the results they're going to get. And as soon as you kind of disconnect the price from your opinion of yourself, it's a lot easier to set it and to choose a number. Literally every woman I work with compares herself to benchmarks herself against the market and then comes up with a ton of excuses why she should be cheaper because she's less.
Can I just say, yeah, I have to stop and just say that is BS.
Yeah.
For my tribe, for your tribe, don't do that. Quit comparing yourself. Go out and see what the market bears, but at the end of the day, you're worth your transformations you offer. If you're good at what you do, charge what you're worth.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. Charge what you're worth, but also, again, but that even sort of, it is charge what you're worth, but it's charge the result that you're delivering for your people, not how much you feel like you're worth.
Right. Take your ego out of the equation and charge about the transformation.
Take your ego out of it, and I think often we're so kind of caught up in our own stuff around our like feelings or our emotions or our kind of, and I do it too, so it just really helps when you think, hang on, it's not about me, it's about them, and you're like, oh, okay, now I can put the price up.
Exactly. So Nadia, I am so happy you were able to speak with us today. I've definitely learned some great information from you. I love what you're talking about, the 5 steps to get to consistent 5K months. I know you have a free gift that you would love to share. Do you mind sharing what that free gift is? And then there will be a link for the LFMS to download it.
Yeah, I have a workbook that you can all download. It's called My Strategy 6-Pack. And it will help you make more money in your business. So it works through a bunch of different steps and asks you some very pertinent questions and gets you thinking about things that will definitely help you make more money in your business.
Awesome. Thank you, Nadia. We so appreciate your time today. It has been so valuable. I love the fact that you came on and were willing to share your golden nuggets with us today. Can you share with us before we sign off what your website is or where people can reach you at? Because my goal here is to showcase all these amazing speakers that came and help people reach out to you and be part of your tribe, especially if they relate to everything that you're saying. I think it's super important.
Oh, thank you. Yes, so you can find me at nadiafiner.com. And if you want to chat to me, just go to nadiafiner.com/call and then you can book in for a chat.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nadia. You have an incredible day. And for the rest of you that are watching, stay tuned for our next amazing interview with the LFMS Marketing Symposium.